Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2017. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our JABBIC show, part 1 for Survivor, Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, also to be known as Triple H.
We're back. Long summer.
It was?
Yeah, seemed like a nice long summer. It didn't start out so great for us.
Oh, Lord.
We went on vacation.
Especially for you.
That was hopeful. We went on vacation.
Yay,
so hopeful.
2 years. We finally got to go on vacation and go see my mommy.
Yep.
And take my mommy on vacation.
That's right. And then Joanne got sick, and her mommy got sick. And a guy in a big truck ran into the back of the car I was in while I was out running errands.
While he was out taking care of things for us.
Oh, what a vacation. Goodness.
And he had to wait on us, and it was one of those coughing things that, and he got to sleep in on the sofa. Mm-hmm. And listen to both Mom and I.
Yeah.
Mom in her room
the
and
coughing
me in
orchestra.
our room.
Yeah.
And I said, honey, earplugs. No, what if one of you need me? What a good husband, huh?
Yes. Well, and then we got that behind us, and it's been a pretty good summer.
Yeah, and we decided to stay home.
Yeah.
It was way cheaper and just better to be at home.
Yeah. And it was a relatively nice summer. We had a long bout with the 100s here in the Sacramento area.
Yes.
But it was all
115s.
manageable. And then the wildfires broke out, and then there's just all kinds of disasters around the states here with Harvey and Irma and all that badness.
Yeah.
But during that whole time, we had Survivor to look forward to.
That's right.
It's been getting closer, creeping up on us. Now it's just a day over a week away. It's time to do our Judge a Book by its cover, a.k.a. JABBIC show, part 1, where Joanne and I go through the new batch of castaways and give our thoughts, our first impressions, maybe some second, third impressions, because we've been looking at stuff.
Just already
right?
shifting
their bios and their pictures and the little promo videos they put out for them. And Josh Wigler's done a really good job. He went on site and has done just a fantastic job. He kind of took the place for what Dalton Ross normally does for this particular season. I think Dalton didn't focus on this one.
You know what I really enjoyed about what he did was he had a picture.
He asked him to do a JABBIC?
Yeah, basically he did. Yeah. He would show them the picture. Nobody knew the names. They're at Ponderosa. They can see and observe the people, but they don't get to talk to them, and so they just have to observe.
It's all nonverbal interaction.
That's
it's not like interaction isn't happening. It is for most of them.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll talk about that as we go through here.
And he asked every person about every other person, and I enjoyed those, though they're not all out yet. The Hustlers tribe's not done till the end of this week, so
yeah, there's 4 that aren't done, but for the most part we're done.
That.
Yeah,
but the person I was really thinking of for my USB, I haven't heard yet, and finally I heard.
Well, you know the rule. You have to lock in. You have to lock in your choice.
I don't have to lock in
today
anything until it's time to make my real choice.
Okay. Anyway, so Josh Wigler's got a good batch of interviews.
Yes.
We'll make sure to talk about links that we use in the preseason and during the season when we do the wrap-up, and we'll include those links in the show notes for our JABBIC Part 1 before we hand it over to you guys for JABBIC Part 2. And we'll talk about that and how to get all that going after we get through this batch. So our first run at them.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I can hold the opinions that I've typed up for each person. I hear something else or somebody says something else, in the interviews, and then I change my mind and I run in.
Yeah. Well, it's not supposed to be that complicated. You put a little too much pressure on yourself.
I did.
Sometimes for doing this. Joanne has an actual physical paragraph for every person.
But here's the thing. I feel like part of what we do is give the people that don't want to go look at all of that stuff, I'll just gather little things from all of it and try to give them just a little overview.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that don't want to go do all that.
But somehow they might want to listen to us go through it.
They might, and if they don't, hello.
They can fast forward.
What can I say? That's my reason behind it.
Let's get started. We'll be kicking it off with the Heroes Tribe. We got Paul's fantastic roster up here on the screen that we'll be looking at to help us visually remember who we're talking about. And then we've each got notes. Some of my notes are quite sparse. Some of Joanne's are quite extensive. So we'll go through. We'll start with the Heroes Tribe. I don't know if the tribe names will become more useful afterwards, right?
Yeah, I haven't even bothered to really look at those. They're going to merge them.
I'm going to let you
lead.
Mix them up. Okay.
And because you just say your little whatever you want to say.
Oh, my little whatever.
I'll read what I read.
And then she'll do the important part. If you're reading between the lines, that was the message.
And then you can comment again if you have.
I see. You'll allow that?
Yeah.
Okay, first up, we got Alan Ball. He's 32 from Houston, Texas. He's an NFL player. Yeah, that's right. He retired last year when he got hurt. So he's an obvious recruit. I think he's basically got no clue about the game. He'll be Johnny on the spot with lots of Captain Obvious quotes. That's my vibe. He's going to be offering insights, stating the obvious. That's about all I expect from Alan.
He doesn't think he'll be recognized, by people out there. And so far, nobody said that I've seen.
Right.
But he said he's known to have a temper on the field sometimes, and that his wife said that he gets pretty hangry when he's hungry, and he said, and I love her, so he's a little concerned about that, I think. And but he's very physically ready to go. He thinks he's strategically and mentally ready, so he really wants to win on his merit. He's got a thing about, no coaches are going to coach me. There's no practice. You just get in and play this game. So, and
he is TV ready.
Yeah, and he likes to prove people wrong. So, but he says his pet peeves is he cannot stand liars or people who feel entitled. I also can't do clutter and people who don't clean up after themselves. But he did seem really well liked.
He should do just
I know
excellent on Survivor.
He said that, or when I listened to the interviews, what other people said, generally he was liked by all.
They pegged him as an NFL guy or some professional sports person.
So I put him merge and even making the jury.
Merge for the physicality. If this will all pivot on what the challenges are like. But if they need some physical power, then he'll be there. Although there's a caveat. This tribe's got 3 solid, and it's the only tribe that has 3 solid physical powerhouses. So they could get by with one less meat shield, potentially.
Okay,
anything else on Alan? I got him making the merge too, if that wasn't clear. Up next, we got Ashley Nolan. She's 26. From Satellite Beach, Florida, lifeguard captain. She says she's a fan. She wanted to be on with her dad. She said, seems like she's an adrenaline junkie, given her proclivities. To me, she was kind of irritating, off-putting, and I'm not sure she's going to be able to stick with it when it gets hard or boring. And she got called out for not smiling in the pregame by just about every single person.
Yes, she did, and I could not warm up to her.
Yep, not yet. Not based on the cover of the book. Not feeling it.
No, and she said her pet peeves were ignorance, laziness, and complainers. And she said one of the items that she would bring if she could was headphones, so she wouldn't have to listen to all the other people complaining. So I thought, that doesn't sound good. You're going to hear a lot of complaining. And she did want to have a journal. That was her second item, so that she could record everything. So at least she's recording it to use against others. So she is thinking about her strategies and all of that kind of stuff. So I thought she could be really bossy, maybe, and that people won't like her because of that. But because she's a beast physically, I think they're going to want to keep her through the merge.
Yeah, she's the most physical female there. Obviously the youngest, most in shape, powerhouse. She's recognized for being a big, strong girl. So that I got her make with a merge for that reason too. But she's going to be tolerated. I don't think she's going to be celebrated.
No, I don't know if she's going to be liked or not. But the thing is that the other two women on their tribe are 46. They're the oldest women in the game, and both of them are on their tribe. Even though one of them's going to lie about her age, but anyway, I think that's probably the reason she'll make the merge, unless she just gets way too bossy and they decide to go with the other two women and call it good.
As long as she can make the first cut the first time,
she might be okay.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is I think they have a really strong tribe, and that they may not need to go to tribal.
Yeah, that's definitely looks like the case with the heroes. They might end up getting a pass in that very first part of the game. I got her merge. Next up, we got Ben Drybergen, 34, from Boise, Idaho, one of your old stomping grounds.
Yep.
He's an ex-Marine. Now he works in a grocery warehouse. He and his wife are big fans of Survivor. I'm thinking he should be able to fit in, even with his early extreme sunburn.
Oh, yeah.
Seems personable. And he got a lot of positive response from the other castaways. And his reading on the other castaways, which is something just as important, was positive. He was looking for the good in folks, and I think he's got an excellent chance of staying around as long as that tribe wins.
Well, and he says he's a fan, but he said his pet peeves were whining, and he said, I'm a little conniving and manipulative like Russell. I have the determination and confidence of Boston Rob and the athletic ability of Joe. My social game is on point, and my leadership and survival skills have been tried, tested, and proven. But people liked him, and I took that into account too, and I liked him. So I definitely put merge, and I think he's just seems like a really good guy. So
seems solid, not too extreme.
And he's not the strongest guy on the tribe, but he's not the weakest either.
Well, he may be the physically weakest of the men.
Well, of the men,
given the men that are on the heroes tribe. Yeah, I got him making the merge. Next up, Chrissy Hoffbeck. She's 46, one of the oldest on the season, from Bernardsville, New Jersey. She's an actuary, and I clocked her as a B3 threat.
What does that mean?
She's got the brains, she's got the beauty, and she's got the brawn. She's got a little bit of a chip on her, because there's several of the females that really fit that description, I think. She's got a little bit of a chip on her shoulder. Understandable. She may want to lean in. Get your air quotes around that. Lean in. If you remember that book that's so big in the business world for business women. A bit much. But I think they're going to need her for the puzzles. And wow, I just really liked her. She's stunning. She is. There were two of the women this season that were just stunning, and I thought she qualified as that for me, for sure. She's a huge fan. And many talked about her mom vibe. So she's got that going for her right out of the gate. She's got good mom energy. And I think she's going to be a valuable addition to any tribe she's on. It just depends on if they're going to, when they decide and figure out how big of a threat she really is.
I think she has mad social skills. I really think she's going to get in there, and she's going to seem non-threatening. She's the one that's going to lie about her age. Because she's like, younger people see anybody over 40, you're just, they can't see you. So she's going to tell them she's 39. And because there is a lady who's in her 40s and she does look a little younger, I think she's going to get away with that.
Oh, totally.
And I think she really knows how to play people, and she's older, but she's very, like you said, very attractive. And some of those people were talking about she was really flirty. Some of the guys,
she pushed the Ponderosa pregame boundaries a lot.
Well, even
she's touching people
in L.A.,
pinching people.
Well, that was in L.A. Patrick said she pinched him on the behind going in the elevator, and they were talking about her winking at him and just being very flirty. And they all said she's an older like mom type, but she's hot. So I thought, no, I think she knows exactly
There's no
what she's
MOV
doing.
vibe for her at all. This is not an MOV. This is someone who came to win. So, yeah, I was really impressed by her.
Yeah, I
got her
like
making the
too.
merge. Anything else
Oh,
you want to
yeah,
say?
absolutely. I put merge.
Next up, John Paul, JP. I think he's going to go by JP, right?
yeah.
They had that in one of the videos. JP Hilsebeck, 28, Huntington Beach. He's a firefighter from California. Casting had to go really far to find him. He has seen the show, but I don't think he's a fan. I think he's a recruit from LA. He had a really solid, just kind of, meathead vibe about him. So he's like the physical epitome of the meat shield archetype.
Yeah, very physically fit people. Really, they're like, wow. Okay, so he said his pet peeves are people that don't follow through. His dad showed him that hard work and the right mindset can get you anywhere in life, and that it taught him to never quit and never give up. And he thinks he's good at problem solving, being a firefighter and having to deal with emergency situations, and he's physically fit. So he said he wasn't a big fan.
Well, I think he watched some stuff after they gave him the DVDs or whatever.
He said he'd seen
said he
some
could use
along,
the CBS Live.
but he wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, so he's not a fan. He's a recruit.
Yeah.
Merge. Anything else you want to say about JP?
I don't think so.
That would be a no. Moving on.
Merge for me.
Next up, Katrina Jerry Radke, 46, Excelsior, Minnesota. She's a sports psychologist, also an ex-Olympian. Okay, so for me, she was very off-putting. And she's got this thing where she talks with her shoulder it seemed that way. Maybe I was reading it wrong when I was watching the video, and it was very distracting. And I'm wondering if she's not another Crystal Cox Olympian. So
she's
a
the
fan.
Olympics were when she was 17.
Yeah, it's been a while.
46.
She's in good shape.
Well, she is, yes. But here's the thing: she doesn't like whiners. She says she's very intense, but wants to challenge herself, and she's very excited to play. That she's been a fan of the show.
Get to the delusion part.
But she hopes that Survivor will provide her with some healing energy for some injuries and conditions that she's incurred along the way, including chronic fatigue syndrome and effects from a car accident a few years ago. She says she's very blunt and speaks the truth, and she's not comfortable with deception.
I'll say this,
No merge.
given that description.
No merge.
Yeah, I'm sure she would appreciate me being blunt. She's got a mom on a vacation vibe. Mm-hmm. Thinking you're going to be healed on Survivor is delusional. Although I think they'll make her dream come true. She'll get an early long vacation. No merge. As soon as this tribe loses, I think she's going to go. I think she'll be
first off her tribe.
I don't think that she'll be able to find a place strategically in the game.
So she'll probably win because we said she first off.
Yeah.
But she also seemed very chatty, and she's the oldest woman. So I think she's got and one of the people, I believe it was Simone, said she looked sick. Mm-hmm. She said, I think she's had cancer or something. I don't know where she came up with that, but I thought that was so odd. I know
stuff.
She came up with a lot of weird stuff, but I thought, people are already seeing her as unhealthy.
So we've got everybody in the Heroes tribe making the merge except for Katrina. Could prove us wrong. Who knows? It's all about first impressions.
Yeah, I thought.
Moving on to the Healers tribe. Soko, first up, Cole Metters, 24, St. George, Utah. He's a wilderness field instructor. Hey, he's got outdoor skills like nobody's business, so he's going to be able to handle the adversity part of the game.
And he knows how to listen and give emotional support.
He has seen the show, and he appears to be looking for a showmance. So even in spite of all that, I've got him making the merge.
I really liked him, and I think he's more than comes across with some of the things that he says, because he really wants to work with works with the disadvantaged youth. Mm-hmm. And he watched Survivor as a kid with his family. Now, I doubt he has TV because he's living in his car. So I doubt he's watched current seasons unless he binged. But he did. He was exposed to it as a child. So that's a good thing. He says his pet peeves are he can't stand lazy people who shirk responsibility. And he sees himself as Spencer from season 28. He came across as a nerd or just a little awkward, but he ended up being really dominant in challenges and in the mental social game, and that's how I see myself. I thought, but he didn't win. But anyway, that's how he views himself. I said I thought he could make the merge, maybe even Final Six, possibly.
I think they'd be terrified to have him. He's another big meat shield.
I would be.
That far. The only way that happens is if the guys form some kind of meat shield alliance, and man, are there enough of them this time.
They could do that.
This is a season that's altogether different in terms of physicality.
I didn't put him in my Final Six, but...
Okay. Anything else you want to say? I got merged.
Nope.
I got merged. Next up, Desi Williams. She's 27. Newport Beach, Virginia. Physical therapist. Well, professor. She's actually a professor, right?
Yeah. She teaches
she's a recruit
therapy.
for sure. She's not like a Survivor fan.
Totally a recruit.
Another one that, for me, was just stunning. She's the other B3 threat. She's going to have to be really quick to catch on or have a chance. Maybe she's going to be an asset for the puzzles. I think she could be a puzzler, and they've got another one that could be a solid puzzler. So
they found her on social media. So
yeah.
And she didn't even know if it was real, but and the only thing is, I really, really like her. She's terrified of being outdoors.
Not just because of the physical thing. Yeah.
She's terrified of being outdoors and in the elements and building the shelter and all that stuff. And I thought, I think
she can make it past the first few days. Then she's okay. She just doesn't look like someone who would make it out there.
No, but I think she will.
Yeah,
and
I've got the tools.
Deep.
Yeah, I do too. Anything else you want to say?
She doesn't like people who are all talk, so she kind of wants people to back up what they say. But
they got nothing to do out there but talk normally, so that's hard to avoid.
Yeah, and some people seemed intimidated by her, but some people wanted to work with her.
Sure.
And so both Rourke, Jessica, and even Joe said they wanted to work with her. Mm-hmm. So, that's half your tribe already.
Before the game started.
You already have a majority, and they haven't even spoken to you yet. So, definitely I put her as the merge, and I think she could be the total package.
Yep. I agree.
So
next up, we got Jessica Johnston, Louisville, Kentucky. She's a nurse practitioner. She is a fan, a nurturer. She's got an angelic face. Everybody talked about how she was always reading the Bible in the pregame. Ashley and Desi called her out for being self-conscious, though. I thought that was interesting.
Well, she says she talks too much and sometimes without thinking, and that she cries a lot. Mm-hmm. That she's very emotional and she tends to
she thinks that
cry a lot.
People want to see a blonde girl crying. That's just a real positive. Not in a mean way. I don't think she meant it that way.
Well, she is a fan, she said. I like that. Mm-hmm. And I think she's definitely likable, though sometimes I thought she talked a little much. But and she's physically fit and seems to have a good attitude, and she's excited to be there.
Tell you what I liked.
I like those things.
She did not use the word like in a sentence at all during her pregame video, the standard CBS one, and that was so refreshing. There was another person's video I couldn't get through. I thought when we were watching it, remember I said I should go back and count how many times he says like, because he can't seem to get through a sentence without doing it. Who was that? I'm pretty sure it was Patrick.
Oh, okay.
It was Patrick or JP. They're going to be a little hard. Well, Patrick's redhead, isn't he? Is JP redheaded? Is he a ginger?
No.
Yeah, I have trouble with the color. Yeah.
Patrick's the ginger.
Yeah, it was one of those two guys. I didn't even rewatch the video. I couldn't listen to him.
Well, I think people are really going to trust her in that she could go deep. And I don't know.
She gets a nurture vibe going. And yeah.
I just don't know.
Wouldn't want Jessica as a nurse.
I just don't know if they would want her in the finals against them because she's likable.
Sure.
But I do have her making the merge.
Yep.
You too?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Next up, we got Joe Mann. He's 35. He's from Hartford, Connecticut. He's a parole officer. I don't think he's a fan. He's got like a cliche vibe. Like he seems like a cliche character to me. I think he's going to struggle to fit in. He seems like he wants to be Tony. Imagine that. He's bald. He's an officer. He learned to swim for the show. Kudos. Way to go. Appreciate that effort.
That doesn't always work well.
He could actually get in a situation in one of the water challenges thinking that he's okay and then get scared and because he doesn't have enough experience in the water.
My
It
thought
could
was,
really throw him.
But did you take lessons in the ocean?
Yeah.
Because that's a whole nother thing than a pool.
Right. He thinks he's got just enormous people skills. I think he's going to have a hard time connecting in a positive way.
Yeah, I don't know. He's a little bit of an unknown. Sometimes I think I see something that he could do well, but immediately I wanted to discount him. I didn't think he would fit in. But a lot of people had a lot to say, and the fact that he has his baby tattooed on, the face tattooed on his shoulder, and people are like, oh, so he's got kids. It's already softened him for all those people. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, he has kids and tattoos on his body with the kids. And so I'm thinking
I don't know. I think
that might
when they
buy
hear him talk,
something.
He's going to say something, and that switch will flip.
Well, Alan said something, too. Alan said, that guy moves and groans like he's 50. He don't look that old. I'm like,
the NFL guy's going to pick up on that. He's been banged around like nobody there, yeah.
But most people liked him except Mike. Mike was very leery of him, and Mike's on his tribe.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mike's originally from New York, and I think he was picking up on that vibe. There's a certain vibe Joe gives off that it got my guard up when I saw him immediately before I knew anything about him.
Well, I put that he would make the merge for his strength, but he'd be gone shortly after.
I got him no merge.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh, we differ there.
Yep. That's the first difference. Okay, next up, we got Mike Zahalski, 43, Pompano Beach, Florida. He's a urologist. He and his wife are big fans. Yeah, he's not threatening. He has a nervous bunny vibe to me.
Bunny vibe?
Yeah, like a bunny rabbit that's nervous.
Oh, okay.
He hired personal trainers to come to his house to get him ready for the game. He's got absolutely zero outdoor skills. He's already pegged as the brain and a business person.
Yes.
I think he's going to be their puzzle guy along with Desi. And, that's what he's got going for him and against him from my perspective. What else you got?
He and his wife named their son after Ethan's on. Mm-hmm. And his pet peeves, he says he's a germaphobe. But Probst talked about him being charming and really smart.
Probst has referenced him in multiple videos. Mm-hmm. One I watched today on EW.com he's listed as one of the 5 reasons to watch the season. Well, and
Jessica and Cole both said they wanted to use him to help their games. Because they already pegged him as being smart and they wanted to use him immediately. And even Desi talked about it. So, but Rourke wants to cut him. She didn't like him. Mm-hmm. But he wants to work with Desi too, so that might... Anyway, I actually am kind of changing my mind a little bit on here, but I put no merge.
Yeah, I got him no merge also.
Really?
I don't think it'll happen in the Healers tribe. It's going to happen when they shuffle them to 2.
Well, but everybody's already pegged him as a super fan. Mm-hmm. Everybody and so I think that's going to hurt him.
They pegged him as a super fan?
They pegged him as a super fan.
Or Ryan? You sure
no, him.
Oh, okay.
No, it may not be everybody, but somebody did, because they've already pegged. Several people said it, in other words. So, anyway, I can't remember everything in detail, but I think he's going to be interesting in some ways, but I don't think he's going to be good at challenges. And I kind of think he might annoy people, and that's why I put no merge. But then I could turn around and see him in the final 3 if he got into a really good alliance. Probably not, but because of those people saying, oh, I want to work with him, I want to pick his brain, I want to do this, and then they can always discard him. But anyway, I'm with you. I put no merge for some reason.
Intelligence like that, and he's pegged as being intelligent. Usually you get targeted. You get targeted, and you get vilified for having intelligence in the game.
People want to use the super fans for a while. In case they need them for strategy or whatever.
That's why I think he'll get, when they shuffle to 2, I think to 2 tribes after this heroes, healers, hustlers, that he'll get cut.
Well, that's the thing I was thinking.
I don't think he'll be the first one to get cut in the healers tribe. They'll get rid of Joe so they can get that vibe out. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, last on the healers tribe, Rourke Luskin, 27, Santa Monica. She's a perpetual student. She's not a lifetime fan. She says she has a habit of correcting people. I think she has crazy girlfriend eyes, as in don't stick your nose in crazy. She's a therapist with a boil the frog slowly strategy, and I find that unnerving in a therapist. So I got her no merge.
I just flat didn't like her.
Yeah, that was your first response.
And she said she was not going to flirt. Says she's sarcastic and very focused and intelligent. But she gave really, in her bio, short, strange answers to me.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think she's
trying to be
true fan. I don't believe
quirky
it.
and authentic and hip. That's what I thought her bio responses were all about.
I don't think her therapist skills are going to help her. I don't think she's going to connect with people. I didn't get people person from her, and I just didn't like. I couldn't
Telling
listen.
you, crazy girlfriend eyes.
I could not
run.
I could not listen to her talk.
Yeah.
It just, after a while, I was like, I'm not listening. I can't. I don't know. Maybe I was tired. I don't know. But Rourke, I couldn't.
Yeah.
No merge for me.
Right. So I got half that tribe not making it.
Oh, and the other thing was Mike and Rourke already said they didn't like each other
Yeah.
before they've even spoken. They didn't like each other. But we know those things can change.
Sure, especially when you find out you're on a tribe together.
That's right.
Okay, next, the Yawa tribe. This is the Hustlers. First up, we got Allie Elliott. She's 24 from North Hollywood. She's a personal assistant to a YouTube personality. She came across to me as extremely resourceful. I loved that she's looking to play the middle. I seriously doubted that she was a fan, and then I read that Survivor's a big family thing for their family.
And her uncle tried. That was his dream.
Yeah,
her uncle
had been an alternate
and had tried to, get on the show, and then he died before doing it. So it makes this very important to her family.
If this was a season of just newbies that had been recruited, people who were adamant that they weren't fans, I would just think, boom, right there. She's it. She's my pick to win. And I've really been bouncing between her and another right now. So.
I've really been on the fence about her off and on, just not sure. But the more I learn about her, the more I kind of like her.
That being a personal assistant to someone, especially in LA, that means and if you've done it for a while, that means you're somewhat successful at it. It means you're incredibly resourceful and you're used to working on whatever. And that's Survivors just coming at you like this, and you're making a plan and you're doing it. And that seems like an outstanding skill to have just as your foundation, your cornerstone in the game.
She wants to be respected, but she wants to play under the radar, and she's willing to lie or do whatever necessary to win. She doesn't have any qualms about that. And Probst describes her as very likable and bright, and that she really wants to play the game and play it well. She doesn't want to just play it. She wants to play it well.
She actually, she looks so soft, like she could just break, like the game would just break her in pieces.
Oh, that's interesting, because what Devin said about her, his description, he said, no alliance with her. She doesn't look like she'll last out here. Yeah. So I don't know why he said that, but that's what he said. It's just the look.
She's got that. She has a little bit of a delicate look to her. So.
And it came out in her interview with Josh that she knows Patrick.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
That even the Survivor
they went
people
to Auburn together.
Didn't know that they knew each other. Mm-hmm. They didn't know
Not only did they go to Auburn together, they lived within a couple houses of each other.
They were neighbors, and they
moved in similar circles.
Yeah,
she said.
She said that they weren't close, but they revolved in the same circle of friends, and that she thought he was very quirky and unpredictable, and she wasn't sure if he was going to tell it. So she's got this added pressure now of not knowing what to do about Patrick. Do I throw him under the bus immediately, or do I pull him in and see if we can have an alliance?
And he's not acknowledging her.
He didn't say a word
in a public way. Yeah.
Josh said that he didn't say a word.
Yeah, and he was. You could tell once you knew that that he was fishing when he was asking him about her too. All right, so I got her making the merge. Next up, we got Devin Pinto.
Me too.
24 from Rohnert Park, California, surf instructor. You wrote brand ambassador. Where did you get that?
I didn't write that. It was on the.
Or you got it from somewhere.
I got it from CBS.
Okay.
That's what it said under their photo. That's
Well, it
where all
says
the
surf
headings
instructor.
came from.
Oh, okay. Like off Press Express, is that what you're saying? Anyway, brand ambassador, that's completely plausible. A brand ambassador, that's like the person at the basketball game that shoots T-shirts up into the crowd. You know, that's an example of a brand ambassador. Or someone who takes around and gives out Red Bulls or free liquor at parties and bars, I guess.
Well, he's another one that said he was a fan that he watched with his mom, but
Well, he watched the first season with his mom. Do you believe this guy watches Survivor?
No, he doesn't. You can tell he hasn't watched any lately unless he watched some before he came out.
He watched
but no,
some,
he didn't.
but he most time couldn't be bothered. He says he plans to play dumb.
According to,
I think he's going to pull it off.
his came out today. His page where you could see what the other people said about him.
You're talking about with Josh Whitler.
And they are completely convinced that he's exactly what he appears to be.
Well, he's reading a
just
book on
a surfer
surfing.
dude.
Right? He's reading a book about surfing. He makes sure they see him reading a book about surfing, and he's meditating a lot.
Which is smart, because this is what he's going for.
I did like that he played the ukulele. That's a plus in my book.
And he said he will not be using. He's been on his own since high school, and he worked as a bartender to put himself through college, and he even has a real estate license. But he said he wants to start an after-school program for underprivileged kids. So he's not just your, flaky type, go-with-the-flow guy, but he thinks they will underestimate him. He said, I won't use any big words. They won't know I have a college degree, and I will be like, hey, dude.
He says he's going to play to the middle. He thinks he'll be inconspicuous. He's like the tallest buff guy out there, isn't he?
I'm sure he's charming. Probe says he's
not
very
going to play the
likable
middle.
and charming. I don't think he's capable.
He's a little, he's a little
He's going to hide a little, but I really liked him. I don't know if he'll do as well, but I liked him.
We expect him to make the merge, right?
Yeah, I have him go possibly in my final four.
Lauren Rimmer, 35, from Beaufort, North Carolina. She's a fisherman. She has trouble with clutter. I do not think she's a fan, and I'm wondering where her social game is.
She said my sister and I were fans, but mostly her sister. And her sister drove somewhere there in North Carolina to do an open casting. And so because the lines were so long, she got a number 2. Her sister tricked her and got her a number 2, so they could save each other's. And that she's the one that got the call back instead of her sister. And so she took it. But yeah, I don't see her as a big fan. I don't think she.
Yeah, I don't have her making the merge. She's the physicality and the choices of this cast this season, she stands out so much as one of these things is not like the other. Well, there's a few that do, but
she's 37. All the others,
she was listed
37.
Okay,
is how they have her listed.
Okay,
and the rest of the tribe is in their early 20s.
Right.
And she said
couldn't stand out more.
She's always been called a little stubborn and set in her ways and all of that. But here's the thing. I think there are people who may well like that about her. She says, I'm built like a Mack truck. And if they go for her strength and little Simone in her, what she said about her, she told the story of, oh my goodness, she said, I was really drawn to her. She smiled at me and she seemed so sweet. And she said, when we got off the boat, Lauren took my hand to help me down. And she said, oh, it was so lovely, and she was so, and I thought, oh, I can cuddle with her. She'll help keep me warm, and I can cuddle. She said, I just love her.
I think they'll be cuddling at Ponderosa.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think either one of them's going to make it.
Well, she does say she likes to have fun, but unless they really want someone to take charge and they put her out in front, those big guys, this is the person they could use to shield themselves.
Okay.
Really? I think so. And there's things she could do that some of the other girls couldn't do.
For sure, yeah. I'm not saying that she won't potentially have any value. I don't think she's got a social game that she's going to be able to stand on.
Yeah, well, I was just really weighing things with her, but I kind of just...
Who knows?
Thought she would be more of a mom on vacation because she probably really needs a vacation.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
But she needs the money very much. Her father just got
Yep.
illnesses and stuff. So I was on the fence about her, but I did say no merge.
I didn't hesitate. No merge. Moving on. Patrick Bolton, 24, Auburn, Alabama. He's a mover, as in you got to move from location A to B. We'll put it in the truck and move it for you.
Yeah, he said he was a fan.
I don't think he's a fan. And
I know, he said he was.
He's the only one that Probst says can't win this season. Now, you make of that what you will. For some folks, that's going to immediately say, oh crap,
he's going to win.
He must have won. Yeah, but...
Well, here's the thing. He said he was a fan, and then Josh questioned. He was like, well, I watched a few.
He's not a fan.
I thought, no, he's not. That says
he's
you're not a fan. He said,
they're like,
well, does that
we need
make me a fan?
Let's get a ginger from the South.
Let's plug his moving company, Bolt Movers. If you're in Auburn, Alabama, there you go.
Yeah.
Bolt Movers.
Yep.
And he does seem to have a good work ethic, and he seems like a good old boy. But
I can tell you why I think Probst is saying that. Because Probst said that the Patrick that he saw prior to being cast is different to the Patrick he's seeing after he made the cast. And he feels like he was actively deceived by him. That's my read on what Probst said about him.
Patrick said what he learned from watching Survivor was trust no one. He seems outgoing, and he loves to talk, and he loves fishing, and he's very physical, though he does burn badly, and that can actually take you out of the game out there if you get burnt bad enough. And I really kind of liked him. I didn't think they'd let him anywhere near the end because he's such a big guy, be a huge threat. So, but I put Merge for his strength. But then Merge. I heard Allie describe him. She's like, I know him from school, and he was very quirky and all over the place. And I thought, whoa, wait a minute. I wasn't getting that impression.
Nope.
And so
you
now...
judged a book. You didn't get to spend a lot of time around him.
No. So, but I put Merge anyway. I still think he'll make the Merge.
Yeah, they'll need him for the strength because there's just him and Devin.
So I have to be wrong somewhere because I put a lot of people making the Merge.
Next, well, you need to pick about 6 people to not make the merge, right? Because
5, I think, or something.
Going to merge it at 12 or 13.
You pick yours, I'll pick mine.
All right. Next up, we got Ryan Ulrich, 24, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He's a bellhop, which I would not have guessed. I would have thought a bag boy at a grocery store. He is a super fan. He plans to be the first person to wear a turtleneck on Survivor.
Yep.
He's
Survivor is his passion.
I'd say he is designed well to play the middle. He's incredibly well spoken. He's overcome a speech impediment to be able to do that, and I think that could serve him really well. But just like our little sweater vest buddy in his first season, Ryan's going to have to be really careful not to overdo it.
Here's the thing, man, I was just sold on this guy. And he has worked toward, because he said he obsesses over Survivor, and he's wanted to play since he was 6 years old. So that alone makes me want to cheer for him, okay? And he did all the therapy, and he spent all this time on different jobs learning good social skills and being able to talk to anyone about anything, a multitude of things. And he thinks he's pretty average in all those skills and can play under the radar, and people are going to underestimate him. And I noticed when they were Josh's interviews that he was pretty observant about a lot of the cast, I thought.
He had the most detailed impressions on everyone out of all the castaways.
So I had noted he's one to really watch, and maybe my USB, and I really want to cheer for him. And then I heard the actual interview with Josh, and I thought, wow. Either he's really overly excited, and one of the ladies said, man, he needs to learn how to chill. And they talk like he's kind of all over the place and just so I thought, will he get overwhelmed? Will he be one of the super fans that gets out there and he's
melts down,
so overwhelmed to be there and wants to do so good that it trips him up? And I thought, is he going to be annoying? Because, man, he was just talking really fast and hard. But he was excited. I love the excitement. So, anyway, I'm keeping him Merge, and now I have to decide if I'm going to keep him because I had him as my USB.
I did too, actually. Yeah, I've been going back and forth between him and Allie.
Well, I thought I need to do a little more. Wait till all the interviews come in. Just get a little before. I want to hear what everybody else thinks before I decide.
It's like wishful thinking. It's kind of like how much we fell behind Cochran in that first season. That's why I'm hesitant. Yeah. But first time out of the gate, you can really goof that up.
Yeah, but I thought I just liked.
Yeah, I had a positive response from the very beginning. First, you're like, wow, what is this little guy going to do? And then I think part of it's the underdog syndrome.
And he said, I don't have any skills for challenges. I don't think I'm going to do well.
Yeah, I really do think he's built to play the middle, and I like looking for, that's where your winners generally come from, is the middle.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so merge for Ryan. Next up, we got Simone Wynn, 25, from New York, New York. She's a diversity advocate. I don't think she's a fan of the show. I had an immediate dislike, and I think it's based on just sort of seeing that resting face, and then she reminded, and seeing the diversity advocate title there for her job, she reminded me so much of the social justice warrior character So-So on Orange Is the New Black, and that just kind of compounded my dislike for her. I think she's going to be a drama engine. She's going to be a, let's say, a poop stirrer, and she lists complaining as a hobby. And I'll paraphrase one of her quotes, which was, keep smiling till you kill them all. So,
well, her pet peeves: I dislike people who lack self-awareness. Says she's like Ty from Korong because I'm like a bamboo in the wind. And Michaela, because I enjoy judging everyone. Reason for playing Survivor: I wanted to change for like a month. Well, Survivor's 39 days, so obviously you're not there to win. And so, okay.
You're going to get technical on her, huh? Yeah, she's like Rourke. She's trying to be quirky and
well, here's the thing. When I listened to her interview, I got a little bit different because I thought she had some skills, but she just seemed way too overconfident to me. And I thought, this girl could save Lauren. No merge. But then when I heard the interview, I thought, oh, I think she's trying to be funny.
Right.
Since some of the things she says are so out there that I thought, oh, I think she's trying for humor there. It's falling flat for me, but I think she's trying to be funny and not just mean.
And she's trying to be nuanced funny, which there's no room for that out there, I don't think. So, yeah, I got no merge.
Yeah, no merge.
That was my impression of her.
So, that was
boom.
Easy for me.
Made it through them. Yep.
Yeah.
So, for no merge, I got her, Simone, I got Lauren, I've got Rourke, I've got Dr. Mike, I've got Joe, the parole officer, and Katrina, the Olympian.
I have, for no merge, Simone, Lauren, Rourke, Mike, and Katrina.
Okay, very similar.
Yeah. For my final 6 right now, Ryan, Desi, Devin, Jessica, Allie, and Chrissy.
I only did a final 4. I did Chrissy, Desi, Allie, and Ryan, with Ryan for the win right now.
Yeah, I had Ryan as my USB right now, too.
First out.
Oh, I didn't do that. First out.
Well, I know you were doing like first out per tribe.
Yeah, first out per tribe. But which tribes, we don't even know what the challenge is.
Doesn't matter.
So, who do we think's going to lose?
Let me tell you.
Who you think's going to lose?
Yeah, the Hustlers. And Lauren's going to go bye-bye. She's going to be first out.
Lauren?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No, I disagree. If they lose
She's
Simone.
So different. Look how different she is on that tribe.
Simone.
Simone will be able to hide.
Though if she likes Lauren, and the girls may, I don't know.
The minute she hears Lauren's name, she'll be, yep, that's Lauren.
Okay. Well, if they lose, I'm going with Simone.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about that?
I'm not sure they're going to lose.
Okay. Who do you think's going to lose?
I'm just trying to look at the other. No, they probably will. I was looking at the healers, but I don't know how good Rourke's going to be, or Mike in challenges. I think the
put
others
Mike on the
do
puzzle,
fine.
though.
Oh, true.
If you're thinking about him for the physical.
Yeah, they probably will be a puzzle, huh?
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I'm with you, sure. We'll go with the Hustlers, but I'm going with Simone.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Okay, I got a few questions for us. What do you think about
us?
Yep. What do you think about the theme this season and how it might affect the game? How is being in the heroes or the healers or the Hustlers tribe?
It will have an effect, just like it always does, by the label that's put on them. Mm-hmm. It always has some effect.
Who do you think is going to affect in a positive way?
Positive way. I don't know if it's going to affect anybody in a positive way.
I think it'll affect all of them in a positive way. To think of yourself
Yeah.
as a hero, to have that acknowledgement, that's part of
Trick
what
question.
they do. To think of yourself as a healer, with the exception of Joe, maybe they probably all think of themselves as healers to some degree. And hustler, you're this person who works really hard, and you're always working super hard just to get the job done. I think that can have a
People like JP hear that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, because he said something to the fact of,
And he says it's my job.
I said this, but this is
Likewise
my job.
with Ben
It's just a job.
for going into the military and serving. And
Yep, exactly.
Things like that.
So I don't know that it'll have an effect on him.
Who best exemplifies the hero, you think?
Ben or JP for sure.
Okay. How about the healer? It's going to be pretty easy, isn't it?
The doctor.
Yeah.
But Jessica's a nurse practitioner.
Yep.
So.
Likewise with Cole, working with the
Yeah.
young troubled kids, right?
And,
How about
they
the
all
best
have
hustler?
their advantage. The hustlers, as far as
Allie,
I know,
Ryan.
I have no way of knowing what they're like enough to judge.
Again, a personal assistant to a YouTube personality that's got 4 million followers. They're always having to come up with new things.
Gavin
She's a
wants
hustler.
to work with disabled children.
Yeah, but he teaches kids surfing. There's what you want to do, and there's what
That's
you
what
do.
he's doing now. That's not what his goal is. His
I'm
goal
saying
is for
the question was who best exemplifies the hustlers.
underprivileged children he wants to work with that
Okay.
don't get enough at home. That he can.
What are they going for with all
After
these
school.
super fit folks?
What are they always going for? Good TV.
They never had. I don't think they've ever had a cast that was this physically fit. It makes several people stand out a lot. Makes Mike stand out. Makes Ryan stand out. Makes Lauren stand out.
Yeah, but Ryan's not physically fit. Simone's not physically fit. Lauren isn't your typical physically fit, though I think she's very strong. Even Allie, doesn't look. They talked about her looking fragile. So that's 4 people right on that tribe that
She physically though she stands out as
she's
way more
physically
fit
very strong
than Mike and
exactly,
Ryan.
or Ryan, or even Rourke.
And
Rourke to me doesn't.
I think there are
look-
more meat shields in this season than we've ever seen. You got Allen, you got Ben, you got JP, you got Cole, you can put Joe in there. Joe's a big, somewhat fit guy. You got Devin, you got Patrick.
Yeah, I think you're off base on that.
Like they could potentially be giving that archetype an opportunity to win with that many of them in a season.
I think they.
Likewise, the fit ladies.
I think if you go back and look at other seasons, you'll find that that's always the case.
No, I don't think to this extreme. I think it's different, but okay.
Okay, well,
sounds
we'll
good.
just
and
agree to disagree.
which of these is? Well, we did that. Which of these is least like the others, most out of place?
Well, Lauren, first off, seems to be. We've already talked about that. For her tribe,
I think we
I would
covered it.
say Joe or Mike. No, probably Mike over Joe.
Easily, yeah.
And Katrina for me.
Yeah, with the high end in age being 46 this season, and it being both those women and them both on the same tribe.
Which probably means there's your final 3. We're wrong.
Yeah. So filming for this season started on April 3rd and completed on May 11th. So they wrapped up right at the end of the last season we were watching. And in seasons 29, 30, and 32, where they had 18, that was Korong, Worlds Apart, and San Juan del Sur. They merged at 12. In season 28, Cagayan, they merged at 11, so they pushed it a little bit there. So I want to talk a little bit about the twists real quick, what we know, the information that's out there.
So if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you might want to call it a wrap. The only other thing I'm going to include after this is we'll talk about JSFL a little bit, and we'll talk about some links where we found our information, links to site that we used during the season, I guess, things like that. So here we go with twist this season. The first tribe to make it to the beach, because they're going to have to take supplies off the boat, jump in and row. So the first tribe to make it to the beach wins a massive bonfire and a fire kit to start the game. And again, there's going to be a secret advantage labeled secret advantage on the boat there where they're gathering the supplies. And this time it's a super idol, which means that it can be played after the votes are read, but it's only good at the first tribal council. So if the person who finds it doesn't end up going to tribal council, they have to actually send it over to someone on
To another tribe.
to the other tribe that lost, So the way it's going to happen in the first challenge, two tribes will be immune, and then the third tribe will go to tribal council. So if you end up finding the secret advantage, but you don't need it because your tribe's immune, you send it to someone on that tribe that lost the first challenge.
Wow, that would be quite the decision, huh?
I just pick someone. Again, it'll be based off first impressions or how people react,
or how you want to go
something they
forward,
observe
or,
in the challenge.
Who you might want to align with and get some favor with.
So that'll be cool, fun to look forward to. And then the immunity idol clues, they're going to be clues in each of the 3 camps, and they're going to be painted on the trees this time. That's how it's going to be done. And they're not going to do they're not going to use that solution about tie votes. There we go. Yeah, you got it. A return to the classic revote at tribal council. Anything else that you noted?
No, I don't think so. You even noted something I had forgotten. So.
Okay. JABBIC Part 2, Judge a Book by Its Cover Part 2. Now it's your turn. We're going to turn it over to you to share your thoughts and observations. We're looking for 3 minutes. The feedback's due Saturday, September 23rd by noon Pacific time. So we've given you the bios and we've done the broad strokes. Now it's your turn to share with us who you think is going to end up winning, who's going to be first out. Share your final 4, final 6 if you like to do it the way Joanne did. All that kind of stuff. 3 minutes. You can write it up, send it as an email. We'll read it in for you. You can send your own recording, or you can call the voicemail line at 206-350-1547, or you can call toll-free at 844-643-8737. Again, remember to keep it in that 3-minute range so that we can get everybody's feedback in. We're looking forward to that. Excited to see what you think about this season, what you think about the theme, any observations you had on the cast as we wait, as we're in that countdown mode, waiting for Survivor to start on Wednesday, September 27th.
Well, I really look forward to seeing everybody else's insights, because a lot of times it's very different. So, I mean, we're even very different sometimes. But, other people think of things that, I just didn't even think about looking at.
Didn't perceive them that way.
No,
I don't
not
have
at
that
all,
life experience as a reference that I could use in making a quick judgment on someone.
And I think I do still need to ponder a bit before I make my final decision.
Yeah.
Though, it took me a lot longer to get prepared this time because of the all the stuff Josh Wigler put out, because I enjoyed that very much.
Fantastic work
he's done. Yes, very good.
Yep, appreciate that.
And I don't know him. I've never met him personally or anything, but I enjoyed all of what he did.
Yeah, doing great work. You can tell he's a huge Survivor fan.
Well, I know he does a lot with Rob, and so
oh yeah, he's a regular over there. Yeah, it is for sure. So speaking of that, other Survivor references, Dalton Ross at Entertainment Weekly. You got Josh Wigler at The Hollywood Reporter. I check out the Survivor subreddit, and there was an awesome pre-game links page on the Survivor subreddit that we were using to find the different interviews.
And none of those have any spoilers, or they don't care to do spoilers or anything, right?
No, Dalton doesn't. I don't think Josh does. They all respect the game. The moderators for the Survivor subreddit, they try hard. Any social media, you can end up seeing things, right? People go to YouTube comments, or they're just watching the video and glance down at the comment section, and sometimes you see a spoiler. So you're on guard for that kind of thing. But for the most part, these are the big places, the main places that we get stuff from, or like to watch the interviews with.
Does Dalton have anything? I know he didn't go out there.
Rob Sesternino, like Joanne said, Rob has a podcast. RHAP is kind of like the gold standard for Survivor podcasts and all the access that they have.
Sesternino.
That's right. It's hard to beat having a podcast with someone who loves Survivor that much and was actually on the show a couple times.
And he's an awesome person.
Yes, he is. So great references there. Those are the main ones. But there's actually tons of different podcasts and websites out there now.
But you do have to be careful so you don't get
YouTube channels.
I don't know if there are any spoilers, but I don't want to find out.
I'm not seeing any hints of that. The last season was spoiled. That's for sure. And I want to make a quick comment about JSFL. We love playing in the fantasy league there, and we want it to be spoiler free. If you like spoilers, JSFL, it's not for you. Move along. Our podcast isn't for you if you like spoilers like that. And people's definition of spoilers, I know, can be different. I acknowledge that. But I'm talking about seeing a boot list, and I went and looked after last season, and there was a boot list out there. And we just don't really want that. Don't want it in the podcast, and we don't want it in our fantasy league at all. Yeah. We appreciate people's differences, and you're welcome to do that, but we're not for you if you're about spoilers, so please move on.
Some people like to read the end of the book.
You're right,
I do
first.
not.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and we do reserve the right if we think anyone's, looking at a boot list. But hopefully, I would just prefer there never be another boot list out there for any reason.
Yeah, we're playing for bragging rights. So
bragging rights is all we're playing for. We're here for the fun.
Absolutely. So. And it is. It's been, ever since we started it, it's made the season richer for us. We hope you'll join us and play this season. We're looking forward to another
But if you get spoiled, please don't play.
Right, just drop out. It's okay. You don't even have to make any more picks. After 3 times, it'll automatically drop you.
That's right.
Good deal. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so, other than I really kind of feel good about the people. I'm kind of getting excited now, season. Waiting for it to start.
Yeah, me too. I am very optimistic for the season.
Well, we cling to our little time off. As long as we can. But then once we get back into it, it's like, oh, yeah, okay, let's go.
Okay, so we're back. We're ready. Let's roll.
And I'm anxious to hear from everybody and how they're doing.
Yep.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, let's do this.
Why?
I think it's like we're back to Survivor. It's got a back to school vibe. Let's do this.
This is against my will.
You're under protest?
We do this before we do the interviews.
This is a warm-up song. Yep. So we did On the Grill. We came in. Our intro was On the Grill. We're going to do We're Going to Be Friends by the White Stripes as our outro.
I am not a singer. You'll find that out.
Yeah, neither one of us, and I'm not a musician, but this is just something we like to do. So here we go.
Let's have fun.
Fall is here, hear the yell, back to school, ring the bell, brand new shoes, walking blues, climb the fence, books and pens. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. We will rest upon the ground and look at all the bugs we found, and safely walk to school without a sound. Safely walk to school without a sound. Well, here we are, no one else. We walk to school all by ourselves. There's dirt on our uniforms from chasing all the ants and worms. We clean up and now it's time to learn. We clean up and now it's time to learn. Numbers, letters, learn to spell, nouns and books and show and tell. Playtime, we will throw the ball back to class through the hall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. Teacher marks our height against the wall. And we don't notice any time pass. We don't notice anything. We sit side by side in every class. Teacher thinks that I sound funny, but she likes the way you sing. Tonight I'll dream while I'm in bed, when silly thoughts go through my head about the bugs and alphabet. And when I wake tomorrow, I'll bet that you and I will walk together again. 'Cause I can tell that we are going to be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are going to be friends.